Good morning student. Today we are going to start our new lesson, Historiography, Indian Traditions. And in this lesson we are going to learn 2 points, Tradition of Indian Historiography and Indian Historiography, various ideological frameworks. The first point is Tradition of Indian Historiography. We learned about the Western tradition of historiography in the last lesson. In this lesson, we will know about the tradition of Indian historiography. In the first lesson, we learned that about the Western traditions of historiography, and now in this lesson, we are going to learn about the traditions of Indian historiography. Historiography in the ancient period. First point is historiography in the ancient period. In the ancient period in India, memories of the great deeds of ancestors and mythological lore, also memories of social transactions, were preserved with the help of oral recitals. In the ancient period, in India, memories of the great deeds of ancestors, the great deeds which are done by our ancestors, their memories, and the memories of mythological lore, and also the memories of mythological lore are stored with, are preserved with the help of oral recitals, with the help of oral sources, and also the memories of social transitions were preserved. The inscription on the Harappan seals and other artifacts confirm that Indians had mastered the art of writing as early as the 3rd millennium BCE or perhaps before that. The inscriptions which we saw on the Harappan seals or the other artifacts, the inscriptions which we saw on the Harappan seals or other artifacts, these inscriptions confirm that Indians had mastered the art of writing. Indians had mastered the art of writing as early as the 3rd millennium BCE. Means Indians know writing before the 3rd millennium BCE or perhaps before that, or perhaps before that the Indians know about writing. The Indians know how to write. However, the Harappan script is not yet successfully deciphered. But the Harappan script is not successfully deciphered. The earliest known written documents of historical nature found in India are in the form of inscriptions. The earliest known written documents means from the startings written documents of historical nature which contain the information about history found in India are in the form of inscriptions. Which we found in India, they are in the form of inscriptions, means in the form of information. They are dated to the 3rd century BCE, and on studying about that inscriptions, we came to know that they are dated to the 3rd century BCE. That is Emperor Ashok Maurya's times. Means 3rd century BCE means this period belongs to Ashok Maurya. His edicts are inscribed on natural rocks and stone pillars. His edicts means the Ashok Maurya's edicts are inscribed on the natural rocks or on the pillars. From the 1st century CE, inscriptions begin to occur on coins, metal images and sculptures, and also on copper plates. And from the 1st century, as the 1st century started, the inscription begin to occur. The inscription begin to occur on coins or metal images or sculptures or also on the copper plates. They provide important historical information and These inscriptions gave us important historical information. They provide us important historical information. We get to know about the dates of various kings, dynastic genealogies, territorial extent and administration of various empires and kingdoms, and also important political events, social organizations, climate, famines, etc. of the respective times. Means these inscriptions, with the help of these inscriptions, we are able to know about the dates of various kings, means which king belongs or ruled our country, his kingdom, from where to where. And then also dynastic genealogies, about their dynastic genealogies. The extent of their kingdoms, means the territorial extent of their kingdom, and also how they administrate their kingdom, means the various emperors how administrate their kingdom and kingdoms, empires and kingdoms, and also important political events. And instead of these, the important political events are also inscribed. We also get the information about the political events, and also about the social organizations, climate, about the famines, etc. of the respective times. The ancient Indian literature, including the epics Ramayana and Mahabharata, Purana, Jain and Buddhist texts, historical accounts by Indian authors, and also travelogies by foreign travelers are important sources of history. Instead that the ancient Indian literature, which include epics just like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Puran, and then Jain and Buddhist texts, some historical accounts by Indian authors, and also the foreign travelers who wrote the journey of their traveling. These are also important sources of history. These sources are also considered as the important source of history. Writing of biographies of kings and dynastic histories mark as important step in the Indian historiography. Writing of biographies means the persons who wrote their biographies, the biographies of the kings and dynastic histories mark as important step in the Indian historiography. This information also considered as the important mark or the important step in Indian historiography. Harish Harishcharitra, written in the 7th century CE by Banabhatta, is King Harsha's biography. Harshcharitra, this Charitra is written by Banabhatta in the 17th century, and this is considered as King Harsha's biography. It portrays a realistic picture of the social, economic, political, religious, and cultural life during the king's times. It portrays means it gives us information about the realistic picture of the social, economic, as well as political, religious, and cultural life during the king's times. Here we saw the first point of our lesson, and we will continue the lesson in our next period. Now today's homework for you is to complete question number 1. Complete the sentences by choosing correct option in your notebook. Complete question number 1A and question number 1B in your notebook. Thank you.